How's it going, everybody? Cullen Ashbey here from Alphonse Fishing Company. Today I'm going to be tying my version of a Alphlexo Crab for permit. As far as my materials go, I'm going to be using a Gamakatsu SL12S size 2, bead chain, chenille, tan flexo material, and then I've got some super glue and some UV glue. Right, so I'm just going to wrap my thread down the shank of the hook and back towards the middle. Okay, I'm going to get my bead chain. I found that using 2 pieces of bead chain is usually the best. It gives it a nice weight, not too heavy, not too light. I think with the permit, your presentation is pretty important. Next step, I'm going to just touch it up with just a bit of super glue. Alright guys, next step we're going to get our little piece of flexo material. Pretty important step. Usually what I like to do is just cut my length and then just kind of shape it before putting it on the hook. I think it's pretty important. So we're going to slide this onto the hook, just like that. And you can tie on the one side. This tying in stage is also pretty important. You want it to be nice and tight. You don't want it to fall apart while you're casting or anything like that. So take your time, make sure it's really nice and tight before you tie it up. Alright, next step from here, I'm just going to touch it up just with the UV glue just to neaten it up a little bit. Next step for the body is tying in the other side. Before you end up tying it in, it's a good idea to same thing, just play with the body a little bit, make sure you get the exact shape that you want. Like I said, I'm going for that disc sort of shape, so I'm going to flatten out the body nicely. That should be good, and then just get ready to tie inside. I'll usually do about 2 or 3 loose wraps, and then just kind of position the thread in the spot that I want it before I tighten up. Really nice, close, tight wraps, just so that the body doesn't open up. It should be good. And same thing on this side, we're just going to tie it off the same with the UV glue. Okay, next step is to just get rid of the excess flexo material here. Trick is not to cut it too close to the eye of the hook. Give it a bit of space, just to around about there. And then what I like to do just to make it neat is I'll flare these out like this. And then you can get a pair of nail clippers or something similar, side cutters, and just cut the excess material off nice and close. You can tidy up the other side as well if you like. Alright guys, next step is getting the legs and the pincers on the fly. So I'm going to get my chenille. I'm just using a threading needle here just to thread the legs through the body. You can use a normal needle or anything like that as well. Right, so I'm going to find where I'm going to want my legs to be positioned. Just push the needle through and make sure it's nice and even. And then I'll get my section of chenille to the length that I want it. And then just pull it through just like that. Same thing a couple more times. Right, so next step is the pincers. There's a lot of different ways of doing this. This is the way I like to do it. So I'll get a fairly long stretch of chenille, just double it over like that. And then on the tag inside, I'm just going to tie a knot, just an overhand knot, just like this. If you've got a needle or something, it obviously does help. And then what you do is you get your threading needle. Same thing, just find where you like to position your pincers, somewhere like that. Perfect. And then you're going to put your loop side of the pincers through the threading needle and just pull it through the other side. Just like that. You can straighten them out and position them how you want them. And then all you end up doing is just tying another overhand knot on the loop side. That should be it. Now that you've got your pincers and your legs in the fly, you can just get your scissors out and trim them how you'd like them. I personally don't like my pincers to be too long, so I'm going to trim these down a little bit, just like that. And then you can also check your legs, make sure they are all even. Alright, that should be good. Okay, next we're going to get the UV glue again and just glue the legs in how you'd like them. I usually like to glue the part of the chenille closest to the body, just to make that first bit of the chenille just a little bit stiffer in the water. Slow down the movement a little bit, just like that. Perfect. And then same thing with the pincers. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to just taper down the legs a little bit with the lighter. You just need to be a little bit careful with this. Obviously it does burn pretty quickly, so just nice and slow, just get a feel for it. Just like that. I definitely feel like this is a pretty important step. It gives the fly a lot more of a natural look. Couple of other things, you can touch it up with a Sharpie, just the tips of the pincers and the legs. You can also add stripes or color in the body. There's so many different things you can do that have all worked in the past, so don't be shy, just experiment a little bit. Alright, now last but certainly not least, we're just going to put the eyes in fly. Alright, so I've already made a couple of eyes. I'll run through you quickly how I've done it. What I like to do is I've just got some 50-pound monofilament. I'm just going to burn the ends just a little bit, just like this, just to get a nice round sort of eye shape. And then up to you, personal preference. I like to get a Sharpie or just whatever color you'd like to use, and just color in the eye just like this. And we're just going to put a layer of UV glue onto it there. Okay, so those are our eyes. Look pretty even. So we're just going to cut them in the middle here. And then you can position them on the fly how you'd like. Okay. Another little bit of a tricky part now is to burn the back ends of the eyes in. You kind of have to get a feel for this. You can obviously damage the body of the fly if you're not used to doing it. But just same with the legs, just go nice and slow, get a feel for what you're doing. Alright, and that is the Alphlexo Crab finished. There's a lot of different ways of doing this. Like I said, you can mess around with the Sharpies and things for different color variations. If you're planning on fishing it in the surf or triggerfish or anything like that, then a weed guard is pretty important as well. But this is a permit specific fly. It's worked great for me this season. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed tying it. Thank you.